Yo, China's three-pronged response to Trump's Bitcoin plan in the United States to buy up to $1 million Bitcoins for the strategic reserve has gone completely unnoticed. Today, we're going to be exposing why you need to be paying attention to the three things that just happened in the last 2 weeks since China found out that Trump won his massive victory in the United States, and explain why this could be the beginning of the Bitcoin nation state arms race to acquire as much Bitcoin as humanly possible. Anyways, I also do want to give a shout out to all of you guys. Happy Thanksgiving from me and Opti, and of course the entire Simply Bitcoin. But anyways, no more delay. Let's jump straight to the news. So what are those three things that went unnoticed that China did after the victory of Donald Trump in the 2024 election? So first, check this out. SOS Ltd, a commodity trading firm, saw its stock trade higher after the firm announced its board of directors approved a $50 million investment to Bitcoin. At Wednesday's market close, the stock trading under the ticker SOS was up 42%. 42%. Bitcoin's recently hit historic highs, trading at approximately 93K per coin. Market analysts predict that cryptocurrency may surpass 100K by the end of the year. Now, here is the key. The latest move by China-based SOS Ltd shows the firm is making a commitment to blockchain technology and its long-term confidence in Bitcoin as a store of value and a strategic asset. Guys, pay attention. A company that's based in China just announced that it's going to make Bitcoin part of a strategic asset for the company. And of course, the same thing that has been happening to Sailor stock happened to this company's stock, basically almost doubled in value. Anyways, it goes on to say, SOS investment plans show the firm is moving with the bullish trend in the cryptocurrency market, fueled by growing institutional adoption and a favorable U.S. regulatory environment for digital assets. Quote, Bitcoin market performance is robust and supported by positive developments, such as the launch of several Bitcoin-related ETF options and ongoing improvements in the U.S. regulatory environment for digital assets. Quote, we believe this investment plan will further enhance the company's overall competitiveness and profitability in the digital asset investment sector. And it goes on to talk, of course, Japanese investment firm Metaplanet. So this is what we were talking about yesterday, about how this is a worldwide phenomenon. You have companies in Japan, you have companies in China, you have small Asian countries like Bhutan, you have countries in Europe like Poland, you have countries in the Middle East like the United Arab Emirates, you have countries in Africa like Ethiopia, you have countries in Central America like El Salvador, you have countries in South America like Brazil. This is a worldwide phenomenon. So that is the first thing. The second thing is is a headline from Crypto Slate. Cryptocurrency clarified to be personal property in China remains barred for businesses. Does it? Does it remain barred? It remains barred for some businesses. And this kind of reminds me of the article by Alex Gladstein, right? That Bitcoin is a Trojan horse for freedom. Problem is that, totalitarian governments are going to want to benefit from number go up technology, but they naively think they're going to be able to disconnect that from FGU technology, which is freedom go up technology. What they fail to realize is that they're inextricably linked. You cannot disconnect the two. Anyways, it goes on to say a recent ruling by Shanghai Shangjiang People's Court has clarified that owning cryptocurrencies is not illegal in China. The November 18th judgment established the digital assets have, quote, property attributes under China law. However, their use is strictly limited to personal ownership and as commodities, not as legal tender or investment tools. Judge Sonji delivered this clarification while handling a case involving two companies disputing an initial coin offering, an activity deemed illegal in China. Judge Sun explained that Chinese law does not explicitly prohibit holding cryptocurrencies. However, regulatory provisions from the People's Bank of China, China's central bank, and other authorities strictly control crypto-related business activities. She noted that virtual currencies lack the legal status of official tender, but hold property value as virtual commodities. The judge furthered that individuals can legally possess cryptocurrencies, but businesses face significant restrictions. That is the key. That is the key, ladies and gentlemen. And again, this is not a coincidence that this has happened literally 2 weeks after Trump had his massive victory in the November 5th election. And again, that is extremely positive for the Bitcoin industry in the United States and any countries around the world that see the United States as their competitors, like Russia and China. Clearly, do you think it's a coincidence? Do you think it's a coincidence that Russia just happened to walk back their bans on Bitcoin mining? Do you think it's a coincidence that Morocco unbanned Bitcoin? Do you think that now China is saying, you know what, it's still kind of restricted on the business level, but on the individual level, individuals could hold it. It's not legal tender, but they can hold it as a commodity. They could hold it as property. Do you think that's a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen? No, this is Bitcoin's incentives ruling the day. This is what we've been talking about for the last couple of years. This is why we've been saying that Bitcoin will inevitably win, because it has superior incentives. So what is the third thing that China has done? Now let's talk about Hong Kong. Hong Kong is supposed to be, it was a British colony, and then they handed it back to China, and it's supposed to be one country, two systems. So Hong Kong is supposed to be, on paper, to have a separate government, a more free market oriented government. Now there has been a clampdown over the last couple of years or so. They've really clamped down the CCP, the government that rules over mainland China and Hong Kong. They have had a clampdown on freedom of speech, but they've been using kind of Hong Kong as this isolated test bed to get all the benefits of Bitcoin and crypto, while the mainland continues to be more isolated from the industry. But check out this latest news, and make no mistake, and we've read you the Bloomberg article that has confirmed this. Hong Kong, whether it's a Hong Kong bank or a Hong Kong business, cannot do any of this without the express approval of Beijing, which of course is the capital of mainland China. Anyways, it continues to say, Hong Kong's largest digital bank launches retail crypto trading. It goes on to say, Hong Kong's largest virtual bank, ZA Bank, launched a new service allowing retail users to buy and sell Bitcoin and Ethereum directly using fiat. According to a November 25th statement from the bank, Hong Kong residents need an account with the bank and must undergo a risk assessment before using the new crypto service linked with the bank's app. Users could buy Ether and Bitcoin through ZA Bank. No other cryptocurrencies are mentioned. The last thing that I'll say is Hong Kong initiates crypto tax exemption plans for hedge funds, private equity funds, and billionaires. And I can't emphasize this enough. Hong Kong would not be able to do this without permission from Beijing. So, dude, this is crazy. This is a 180 compared to where China was standing in regard to Bitcoin. And does it surprise me? No, because they see the orange man. They see Donald Trump going into office, saying a strategic reserve, saying we're going to make you rich with Bitcoin, saying go have fun with your Bitcoin. And they're seeing that. And of course, they see the United States as an economic adversary. And they're saying, you know what? If we don't get on this Bitcoin train, we risk getting left behind. And this is exactly why Gladstein wrote that article about Bitcoin being a Trojan horse for freedom. So Bitcoin stays winning. You know what, Opti, we've been getting metaphorically beat up for the last, really 2.5, 3.5 years. And all of a sudden, this election, we got the Trump pump. And of course, this very positive regulatory environment. And that's essentially scaring all these countries around the world, no matter how totalitarian they are, into saying, you know what, we're going to have to probably change our stance on Bitcoin, right? So again, all these unbannings, all these mentions of Bitcoin making a strategic reserve is not a coincidence. This is a reaction to Trump winning the election, and they're trying to get ahead. And that includes one of the most totalitarian, economically powerful countries on the face of the planet, China as well. Anyways, Opti, what's your take on this, brother?
Yeah, well, obviously, we've been seeing the grumblings coming out of China in regards to them kind of flipping their stance on Bitcoin. And obviously, I would say this is a good thing, and it's happening because of what Trump was saying about Bitcoin and this incoming administration in the U.S. Essentially saying that they're going to embrace Bitcoin. And I think people underestimate how big of a news story this actually is, considering China's banned. I just like ChatGPT did. They banned it, Bitcoin 19 times in the last 13 years. So historically now, it's always been kind of a meme, like China bans Bitcoin and no one really cares. It's like, of course, they're going to ban Bitcoin. But now it seems like they are flipping the script. And I think that last news story about Hong Kong eliminating capital gains tax, obviously right now for hedge funds and small family offices, I wouldn't say it's exactly what we want here, but it is very interesting that they're using Hong Kong kind of as a proxy. Remember, they also did the Bitcoin spot ETF launch some point this year. And so that obviously people in China want to have Bitcoin. I forget who it was, and I keep bringing this up every time we talk about China. So we had someone come on the show and we interviewed him, and he was talking about the idea that the Chinese citizens understand Bitcoin and they don't talk. This is, I think, verbatim what he says, like they don't talk about what they hide under their mattress. And now you're seeing that the tide is shifting, the narrative is shifting. And it kind of goes back to what we've been saying all year, that ever since kind of Larry Fink came out and also Trump now and politics has landed on our front door, it's a fiduciary responsibility for everyone out there to embrace Bitcoin. And hey, as the meme also goes, Bitcoin is for enemies. And so, say what you want about China, but they are in self-preservation mode, and they understand that, hey, if the US starts to embrace Bitcoin, then maybe it's time that we no longer try to ban Bitcoin and we also start to embrace it. And this is the global game theory playing out. Like, this is the global hash war playing out. And it really is, I said it yesterday in regards to, am I surprised? No. What is kind of surprising is the gradually then suddenly meme. Like, it seems like it's all happening so fast. And I don't think that is a coincidence. It's obviously once someone huge comes out and starts embracing Bitcoin, everyone else has to kind of, at the very least, take it seriously. And now we're seeing that that's happening. So love or hate Donald Trump, I think he's kind of kicked the ball and dropped the dominoes. And now everyone has to take Bitcoin seriously, whether he understands Bitcoin or not, whether he's doing the shitcoinery stuff. Yes, he is kind of a shitcoiner right now, but he's fundamentally kickstarted the wildfire right now, and people are starting to embrace Bitcoin. And I said it a couple times throughout the year that 2024, or rather a couple times the last couple of months, 2024 really feels like the foundational year where we've got a lot of bricks being laid so that we can actually have an explosive 2025 bull run. And then moving forward, it's becoming very obvious that in a digital world, you might want to embrace digital money because it cannot be stopped. As Lynn Alden's been saying, nothing's going to stop this train. And now it looks like China's bending the knee, obviously slowly at first and using their proxies, but it seems like they're coming around. And as the saying goes, you can't ban Bitcoin, you can only ban yourself from Bitcoin. So it's going to be very interesting how fast the dominoes fall and everyone else in the world starts to embrace Bitcoin.
Absolutely, 100%. All right, ladies and gentlemen, before we jump into the show, I do want to give a very special shout out to Simply Bitcoin's lead sponsor, bitcoinwell.com. BitcoinWell.com is the best place to build your automatic self-custody Bitcoin stack. What does automatic self-custody mean? What makes Bitcoin Well unique and special, it is that it is a non-custodial platform. That means that when you buy Bitcoin on Bitcoin Well, as soon as the funds clear, it goes straight to your self-custody Bitcoin wallet address. It doesn't even allow you to leave your Bitcoin on the exchange, which perfectly aligns with the Simply Bitcoin ethos of the separation of money and state. Because after all, self-custody is the revolution. To get started, go to bitcoinwell.com today and put in your email address. It takes about 2 to 5 minutes to get started. Also, if you're a high net worth individual looking to make larger purchases, check out Bitcoin Well Infinite, a Bitcoin OTC desk with a white glove experience tailored for, again, higher net worth individuals that are looking to buy $50,000 worth of Bitcoin or more. So what does the white glove Bitcoin experience include? If you're tired of dealing with Coinbase and their UI, and you're tired of not being able to talk to support, and you're tired of just dealing with computers, and you want a human being that you can call to ask them about Bitcoin, to ask them when to buy, to ask them when to sell, to ask them to buy, to ask them to sell, Bitcoin Well Infinite is for you. So to get started, go to bitcoinwell.com/OTC, or you can email me at nico@bitcoinwell.com, and I will personally connect you with a Bitcoin Well Infinite representative. All right, everybody, let's get the show started. Let's hit the numbers. We have tons to talk about. I want to tell you guys about our sponsor, Stampseed. Is your Bitcoin in cold storage really secure? Are your seed words really secure? Stampseed's do-it-yourself kit has everything you'll need to hammer your seed words into commercial-grade titanium plates instead of writing them down on paper. Don't do that. Paper sucks. You want to literally stamp your seed into this plate of titanium. Your words are actually stamped into the metal plate with this hammer. So once your words are in, they aren't going anywhere. No risk of the plate breaking apart and your pieces falling everywhere. Titanium stamp seeds will survive nearly triple the heat produced by a house fire. They are also crush-proof, waterproof, non-corrosive, and most importantly, because this is generational wealth, time-proof. All things that paper is not, allowing you to hodl your Bitcoin for the long haul. I mean, here is the plate that they crushed. They put in water, they put a blowtorch to it, and as you can see, the words have survived. Stamp your seed on Stampseed, and you can use promo code SIMPLY to get 15% off anything on their store. Head over to stampseed.com today. All right, everybody. Listen. You're going to get older one day, and you're going to want to pass your Bitcoin along to the future generations. But imagine having that conversation. Your grandchildren are looking you in the eye, and they're saying, "Grandpapa, you stacked under $100,000. You're my hero." And then you look at them, and you're like, "I'm sorry. I don't have it for you." And then they're going to be like, "Why, Grandpapa? Why?" And they're going to be like, "Because I didn't listen to Nico and get myself a stamp seed and the dog ate the seed phrase." You don't want to put yourself in that situation. So head over to stampseed.com today, stamp your seed into titanium so it could stand the test of time, and use promo code SIMPLY to get 15% off anything on the store. At the time of recording, the Bitcoin price is $94,890. Block height, 872,363. Sats per dollar, 1,054. Market cap, 1.88 trillion. Bitcoin price in gold, 94.9 ounces. Bitcoin versus gold market cap, 10.23%. Percentage issued, 94.23%. Decline from all-time high, negative 4.8%. Realized monetary inflation continuing to take fiat currencies to absolute school. I think when me and Opti started covering this, it was above 2%. Holy cow, 1.19%. Anyways, Joe Rogan, absolute legend. This is the future of media, ladies and gentlemen. Podcasting, independent media. We have the ability to tell the truth. It's amazing. Here's Marc Andreesen. Marc Andreesen, the very, very successful guy. I believe he's a VC. And he confirmed that Operation Chokepoint 2.0 is real, and that people were being debanked without any due process. And this is the same people that want you to trust them with an effing CBDC. Are you crazy? Are you nuts? Never in a million years. Anyways, let's check it out.
This started.
Oh, sorry, guys. I have the better version. 1, 2, 3.
15 years ago with this thing called Operation Chokepoint, where they decided to, as marijuana started to become legal, as prostitution started to become legal, and then guns, which there's always a fight about. Under the Obama administration, they started to debank legal marijuana businesses, escort businesses, and then gun shops, just like your gun manufacturers, and just like you're done, you're out of the banking system. And so if you're running a medical marijuana dispensary in 2012, like you, guess what? You're doing your business all in cash, because you literally can't get a bank account. You can't get a Visa terminal. You can't process transactions. You can't do payroll. You can't do direct deposit. You can't get insurance. Like none of that stuff is, you've been sanctioned, right? None of that stuff is available. And then this administration extended that concept to apply it to tech founders, crypto founders, and then just generally political opponents. So, yeah, so that's been like super pernicious.
I wasn't aware of that.
Oh, 100%. And this is called, so it was Operation Chokepoint 1.0 was 15 years ago against the pot and the guns. Chokepoint 2.0 is primarily against their political enemies and then to their disfavored tech startups. And it's hit the tech world like we've had like 30 founders debanked in the last 4 years.
Really?
Yeah. It's been a big recurring pattern.
30.
This is one of the reasons why we ended up supporting Trump. It's like we can't live in this world. We can't live in a world where somebody starts a company that's a completely legal thing and then they literally like get sanctioned, right, and embargoed by the United States government through a completely unaccountable, by the way, no due process. None of this is written down. There's no rules. There's no court. There's no decision process. There's no appeal. Who do you appeal to, right? Like who do you go to get your bank account back?
Absolutely bonkers. And again, government is like, CBDCs, man. You could trust us with that. You know, we're not going to do that again. How could we? You can trust us. We're good people. We're going to get, these people to make TikTok videos. We're going to get Jerome Powell to not wear a tie when he makes his TikToks to make it seem like he's more relatable to you. We're never going to weaponize this money against you. It's not like we've done it in the past. Like, man, that it's so crazy. And he confirmed Operation Chokepoint 2.0 is real. And that was just against, I didn't even have any idea that it was happening to tech companies. I thought it was just in relation to the Bitcoin industry. But how crazy is that? The US government was essentially picking and choosing who could use a bank account and who could not use a bank account. If there is, you couldn't make a better advertisement for Bitcoin if you tried, right? So anyways, Opti, someone actually has an interesting comment in the chat. Operation 3.0 is the Bitcoin ETFs. Oof. Anyways, Opti, what's your take on all this, brother?
Yeah, well, my first reaction is just Joe Rogan's reaction is hilarious. Obviously, to us, we've been covering this all year, so this isn't really news to us, but it is very interesting to get more confirmation of what we've been seeing happen in the Bitcoin space. And, coming from Marc Andreesen, yes, he is a VC, shitcoin kind of founder with A16Z, funds a lot of shitcoin companies. So we're not going to hold that against him too hard here today. But the point remains the same. We have been seeing this play out all of this year. And Nico and I have been saying this basically ever since this news story kind of broke, that these were politically motivated, that they were actively attacking the Bitcoin industry. And now it's coming out and it's going on, what we would call the mainstream consciousness, which is, Joe Rogan's audience. And it is hilarious just seeing Joe being like, wow, 30 tech startups? Like, no way. And he's just like, it's just brand new news to him, right? But we've been covering this all year long. And we've been been laying, the breadcrumbs here, exposing what's going on. And now, again, it's starting to become part of the public conversation. And I really loved how Mark kind of laid it out, that this isn't just, to stop quote unquote bad people from doing bad things. These are politically motivated. And we've been covering this all year. Remember, we gave Gary Gensler a lot of shit throughout the year because of him slow walking the Bitcoin ETFs. And now we have more and more evidence in regards to Operation Chokepoint 2.0. And if you watch that whole clip, I haven't seen the whole Joe Rogan interview yet, but there was another good clip kind of coming out in regards to Elizabeth Warren and this office that she is control or head of, and just totally, rogue to the law, and she's basically just attacking people. And this is the status quo. And a lot of people are starting to wake up that this is how the game is played, is essentially, the federal government uses these private, organizations as proxies to take out people that they don't want to compete with. And obviously we're here, free market maximalists, free market capitalists here. And we've been exposing this throughout the whole year, that the government actively attacks industries and companies and startups that they don't want to see succeed. And now we have more evidence of it, and it just keeps coming out. And we'll hopefully see, at least in 2025, that is not the case. And we get a little more run room so that Bitcoin and the Bitcoin industry and Bitcoin companies not only can come back to the States, but also, for lack of better terms, just be treated equally as every other company. It's not like we're doing anything bad here. All we're doing is trying to usher in a better money and help people survive and help people protect their wealths. And the fact that the government is fighting this, on the one hand, it's very obvious the U.S. and the administrative state, just putting it nicely, are very concerned about losing their world reserve currency status. And so obviously they're going to attack the incumbents, which is Bitcoin and Bitcoin companies. And we've been covering this throughout the whole year. So am I surprised? No, not at all. We've been seeing this play out, but it is kind of funny seeing Joe Rogan's reaction to this. Like, it's brand new to him, which should just go to show that Joe needs to become a full-blown Bitcoiner, because every time he hears things kind of adjacent to Bitcoin, it always blows his mind. Now, I know he is kind of a Bitcoiner. I'm pretty sure he's still kind of holding a small portion of Bitcoin, but I think at a certain point, he's going to have to go full in and really, really start to get not only more Bitcoiners on his show. It's been a long time since he's got Andreas Antonopoulos on the show. And I think that is the conversation that needs to be happening. If you are a freedom maxi, if you believe in self-sovereignty, then what are you doing not talking about Bitcoin? We've seen this play out. And, Nico, we haven't said it today, but we say it all the time. Like, if the people in power won't let you speak freely, what makes you think they're going to let you transact freely? And now we have further evidence throughout this year that they're not even doing that they're actively attacking people that are trying to transact freely. We've been covering deplatforming all year long. And hey, vindicated once again here on Simply Bitcoin. What's the meme that we kind of started this year? Tomorrow's Bitcoin news today, stealing the classic meme. Well, hey guys, maybe we're not just 65 IQ journalists over here. Maybe we might know some things, and changing your Bitcoin operating system lets you predict what's going to happen down the pipeline. I don't know. I'm just speculating here.
Yeah, shout out to the almost 1,800 of you guys watching live. If you guys are enjoying the show, one of the things that you can do to help this show get pushed harder in the algorithms is smash that like button. We broke 300 likes within the first hour of yesterday's show. Help us break 200 likes at least. Right now we are at 121. So if you guys are enjoying the show so far, the Thanksgiving special, smash that like button. Guys, we still have a load of content left for you guys. We're going to talk about the Bitcoin adoption race among corporations. That's right. It's not only happening on a nation state level, it's happening on an individual level. It's happening on a corporate level. It's happening on every single level. Bitcoin is a black hole that is going to suck up every single asset because it is the superior asset. All right, everybody, let's get to the news. We have tons to talk about. Let's check it out. Here we go.
Very special shout out to our sponsor, Compass Mining. They make Bitcoin mining accessible to everyone, from beginners to experienced investors. Their turnkey miners gets you online and hashing within 48 hours, making it easier than ever to start your mining journey. Plus, with their active marketplace, you can resell your miner at any time, adding flexibility and value to your investment. Visit their website to access a wealth of resources, learning everything you need to know about Bitcoin mining. Take your first step into the world of Bitcoin mining with confidence. Discover more at compassmining.io. Again, compassmining.io, and see how Compass Mining can power your success. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Foundation. It's self-custody done right. They built a premium grade hardware wallet called Passport right here in the US, and it integrates seamlessly with their free app called Envoy. Passport is fully open source and verifiable. It's the most intuitive Bitcoin wallet design with a UX reminiscent of a classic feature phone, so you'll know how to navigate it and use it the moment you pick it up. It's also air-gapped, meaning Bitcoin stays offline, never touching an internet connection. It's Bitcoin only, open source verifiable, air-gap security model, gorgeous design craft, premium grade materials. Get your Bitcoin off exchanges and into your own hands in just a few minutes with Passport at foundation.xyz/simply. Get peace of mind for your piece of Bitcoin.
All right, everybody, listen, you want to take self-custody of your Bitcoin. And the way that you do that is through Opti. Just kidding. You want to get yourself a Passport by Foundation Devices. It is a Bitcoin hardware wallet that is completely open source. It doesn't sacrifice security for convenience. This is the perfect gift to someone that perhaps is a little bit intimidated by taking Bitcoin into self-custody. The Passport makes it human-friendly to do so. Scan the QR code today. Use promo code SIMPLY to get a discount on the Passport by Foundation Devices. Again, promo code SIMPLY. All right, everybody, let's talk about this. The Bitcoin adoption race among corporations. So we've all been, we've been talking about this. We've been seeing it. Michael Saylor's been leading the charge. He is completely vindicated, and he's winning. He's winning hardcore. And other companies are noticing what the Chad Saylor is doing. And, you see Microsoft like, oh my God, like, should we do this? It's inevitable. This is Bitcoin's incentives. Like, you don't get some Bitcoin, you're at a competitive disadvantage to people or individuals or countries that do have Bitcoin. It comes down to that. It's very simple. So the headline is the Bitcoin adoption race among corporations. The TLDR, corporate investment in Bitcoin is spreading. Corporate investment strategies are gaining momentum following the SEC's approval of Bitcoin spot ETF. This trend is now extending beyond Western markets to include Asian regions. Why are corporations investing in Bitcoin? Bitcoin presents an appealing option for diversifying financial assets, improving fund management efficiency, and enhancing corporate value. Asian participation and prospects. Asian companies are still in the early stages of Bitcoin investment. However, success stories like Metaplanet demonstrate the potential for market expansion. The lack of regulatory clarity and institutional infrastructure remains a significant challenge. So, goes on to say, why did all this happen? Well, we had the introduction of the first spot Bitcoin ETF earlier on the year. The same day that Hal Finney famously tweeted many, many years ago, I think back it was in 2009, he tweeted running Bitcoin. That was the same day that the Bitcoin ETF was approved. Goes on to say, number 2, companies are actively investing in Bitcoin. Interest in Bitcoin is growing as its value gains recognition. At the national level, countries are also discussing Bitcoin investment. For example, El Salvador is actively purchasing Bitcoin. In the US, discussions focus on President-elect Trump's plan to stockpile Bitcoin. Poland and Suriname are also moving to make Bitcoin a strategic asset. However, in most countries, Bitcoin investment remains a campaign promise. It will take time before these promises are implemented. The US has not yet invested in Bitcoin but holds it to recover criminal proceeds. Additionally, central banks continue to favor gold over Bitcoin due to its volatility. Three reasons why corporations are looking into Bitcoin. Number 1, companies have traditionally structured their financial assets around stable options such as cash and government bonds. These assets ensure liquidity and help manage risk. However, they offer low yields that may not keep pace with inflation. As a result, companies may face a real loss of value. As you can see, Bitcoin has outperformed the S&P, the NASDAQ, and gold since MicroStrategy adopted a Bitcoin strategy August 10th of 2020. Number 2, another reason businesses are attracted to Bitcoin is its efficiency as a financial asset. Bitcoin trades 24/7, offering businesses flexibility in managing their financial assets. Number 3, corporate value increase. Holding Bitcoin is not just a financial decision. It could also enhance corporate value and stock prices. For example, MicroStrategy and Metaplanet announced Bitcoin purchases, which led to significant increases in their stock price. This strategy acts as both a marketing tool within the digital asset industry and a way to capitalize on the sector's growth. Number 4, Asian companies increasingly investing in Bitcoin. Asian companies are in the early stages of Bitcoin investment, but are gradually increasing their holding. Companies like Meitu in China, Metaplanet in Japan, and Broker Group in Thailand have adopted Bitcoin as a strategic reserve asset. Nexion has also made significant Bitcoin purchases. Metaplanet has been especially active, acquiring 1,142 Bitcoins over the past 6 months. So, closing thoughts. Bitcoin investment is becoming a popular financial strategy for companies. However, Bitcoin's volatility remains a concern, especially due to external factors like international politics. The market crash in 2022 highlighted the risk for companies holding Bitcoin. Businesses should adapt a cautious approach by balancing Bitcoin with safer assets. Additionally, a clear institutional framework is essential for Bitcoin's growth in corporate portfolios. The lack of clear guidelines on holding and accounting for crypto assets causes confusion. Once these uncertainties are resolved, Bitcoin could play a larger role in corporate portfolio diversification. I think, ladies and gentlemen, the closing thoughts are just an opportunity for you. Because if all the regulatory uncertainty was gone, if Microsoft already bought Bitcoin, if Google already bought Bitcoin, the number is going to be a whole lot higher than it is today, and that means less upside for you. Here is Michael Saylor, the Chad Saylor. He tweeted this out November 27th. So yesterday he said, MSTR, which is MicroStrategy's ticker on the NASDAQ, is a credit default swap on 100 trillion in 20th century assets. Mike effing drop from the Chad Saylor himself. Anyways, guys, we're about to break 2,000 live viewers on the show. If you guys are enjoying the show, help us break 200 likes while the show is live. We're currently at 164 likes right now. Anyways, Opti, what are your thoughts on this, brother?
Yeah, well, obviously, as a Bitcoiner, someone that understands Bitcoin, even kind of vaguely, a money that isn't controlled by anyone, it's no surprise that we're seeing the global adoption of Bitcoin happening in every corner of the world. And again, it kind of goes back to what I just said a couple minutes ago, where it's like, if you don't adopt the newest technology, you're going to be left in the dust. And so I think this is just the very beginning of this happening. And it's only a matter of time until every huge company, and rather every company in the world, starts to embrace Bitcoin, adopt Bitcoin as a corporate treasury reserve asset. I mean, I saw on Twitter rumors of apparently Amazon's thinking about buying some Bitcoin by the end of 2024. I couldn't verify this, but I'm also hearing some rumors from a couple other Bitcoiners that are talking with people that work in big banks. And the signal is the same, that they're all thinking about, how do I get Bitcoin on my company treasury? And they move very slowly. There's a lot of, obstacles in the way for them to start to embrace Bitcoin, but you're seeing that it's already happening. And so there's going to be a delay from when big companies want to adopt Bitcoin as a corporate treasury asset and when it actually plays out. But we know that these conversations are happening, and some of the quicker adopters are seeing their stock perform better because they're embracing Bitcoin. What's the sailor meme? Like, they're buying the future and selling the past. And this is where we are right now, that if you are embracing Bitcoin, you are embracing the future, you're embracing, technology, you're embracing the fact that you think the world will be better. And this is one of the things that I think a lot of Bitcoiners kind of miss, is like, buying Bitcoin, saving in Bitcoin is kind of a vote for an optimistic future, versus the fiat world that we constantly talk about is kind of just like throwing in the towel and accepting the fact that things are never going to be better, that you're going to get broker. And the more forward-thinking companies right now are adopting Bitcoin. And we saw what it did for MicroStrategy. I've trollingly said that even though MicroStrategy is killing it right now, they're absolutely destroying it. Saylor's putting on a masterclass. But before they adopted Bitcoin, it did almost seem like MicroStrategy was a zombie company if you're just looking at its stock. And now you're seeing that MicroStrategy is it's probably in real time becoming the most valuable company in the world right now. It's obviously outperforming everyone right now on the stock market. Saylor keeps buying more Bitcoin, and that's all because of the rocket fuel of Bitcoin. And so, of course, other companies are looking at that and they're like, yo, I want this for my company, for my shareholders. Their fiduciary responsibility is to increase shareholder value. Well, if you're not embracing Bitcoin, you're not increasing shareholder value. Bitcoin is going to go up. It's only going to increase in value. I mean, I think the numbers we've seen coming out recently is like, estimate 300 million people are in Bitcoin. I don't know about you, but hey, there's still 8 billion people left on planet Earth. And so that's a lot of adoption coming. Is Bitcoin ready for all that? I don't know, but it does seem like this next year, the price is going to go crazy. And that is obviously going to cause a FOMO race. And once these big corporations announce it, I mean, Saylor tweeted yesterday, he's like, Microsoft is on the verge of adopting Bitcoin. So like, it's happening. These huge companies are embracing Bitcoin. They're having these conversations. Yes, right now, some of the companies are, lesser known companies, but it's only a matter of time until the Amazons, Googles, Microsofts of the world, Apple start to embrace Bitcoin. And let's not forget, Apple or Nvidia, like their stocks right now, I think Apple might be roughly, excuse me, I think Apple right now, its market cap might be roughly around where the Bitcoin market cap is right now. And if you understand Bitcoin, you understand that Bitcoin is bigger than any one country. Bitcoin is bigger than any one corporation. And you want to tap into that network effect. And Bitcoin is changing the world. And hey, we're here for the ride. Like, we're along for the number go up, and hopefully soon enough, more people start to take Bitcoin into custody, and we live in a better future. There was a good clip of Kaiser yesterday on Nat Brunel, basically saying the same thing. It's like, maybe we're all still early to Bitcoin, because probably maybe in our lifetimes, like the end of our lives, we'll see the real effects of what Bitcoin will do for the world. But I think every single one of us are still early to Bitcoin. Yes, the price is starting to get into six figures, but the impact of Bitcoin worldwide, I don't think has been felt yet. And we probably won't be feeling it for another 5 to 10 years.
100%. All right, everybody, before we move on to the culture segment, I have a quick update for you guys. I'm not going to be offering commentary. I did work at this company. I still have friends that work at the company. But some big news that I saw making the rounds on Twitter. So I'm just going to kind of read the two announcements by Fortress and the one by Swan, and leave it at that. So, as communicated in previous emails, Swan is moving all Fortress Trust accounts to new service providers by the end of 2024. On or around November 22nd, Fortress changed Swan personal and entity accounts charged. Okay, let me say that again. On or around November 22nd, Fortress charged Swan personal and entity accounts an admin fee for exiting to new platforms. The fee ranged from $0 to $125 per account, deducted in USD or Bitcoin depending on account balances. Swan does not control this fee and does not support Fortress Trust's decision to impose it. Swan is actively disputing this admin fee as we believe it is not in compliance with your terms of service agreements with Fortress. In the meantime, Swan is offering to basically cover the fees up to $125 to kind of make up for this admin fee by Fortress. Fortress did respond and said, Fortress recently made the decision to step away from providing custodial and infrastructure services to Swan. At this time, we are aware of recent communications shared by Swan and want to take this opportunity to reassure account holders that Fortress is fully committed to ensuring a seamless transition to successor custodians. Fortress is taking steps within its power to make the mitigation to successor custodians as seamless as possible and is dedicated to delivering the best possible experience to its clients. Our team will continue to communicate with clients of what to expect in regards to the transition to those successor custodians. Fortress continues to build for the future and is excited about the opportunities ahead in 2025. So anyways, that's the quick update. I know a lot of people were talking about that on Twitter, and I'll let you guys make up your mind on it on your own. All right, everybody, let's hit the culture segment. We have a lot to talk about. Let's check it out.
To our sponsor, HIVE Digital Technologies. As the first ever public miner, HIVE's been battle tested through every possible market. And as the first with an AI strategy, HIVE continues to redefine the future of sustainable energy. Also, gotta casually drop this in here, HIVE consistently tops the industry in Bitcoin mined per exahash. They're lean and mean, they're green and clean, and they're changing the game. Learn more by following them at HIVE Digital Tech or check out their website, hivedigitaltech.com.
All right, everybody, I do want to give a very special shout out to our sponsor, the Orange Pill app. Stack friends who stack sats. Join the 13,912 Bitcoiners that are currently on the app. The Orange Pill app is for people that want to connect with other Bitcoiners. So you download the app and it will literally show you the Bitcoiners that are near you geographically. And it will give you the ability to send them a message directly, connecting with them so you can ask them any questions. It's probably a good idea to build that Bitcoiner Rolodex. Again, stack friends who stack sats. Download the Orange Pill app today. Scan the QR code on your screen or check the link in the video description. I also want to give a shout out to our sponsor, BitBlockBoom. This is one of the best Bitcoin conferences of the year. And the year of the parabola, 2025, is going to be one of the best BitBlockBooms ever. The entire Simply Bitcoin crew will be there. Me, Opti, Rustin, Dante, Sophie, Jacob. You definitely don't want to miss it. It's going to be April 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th in Dallas, Texas. It's going to be one of the best Bitcoin conferences you've ever been to. It's not big enough, so you get lost in the sauce. It's just the right size. So you have the opportunity to network with the fellow Bitcoin companies that you potentially want to work at, or to network with some of your favorite Bitcoiners, and you can spark up conversations with them. The BitBlockBoom conference is in fact the very first conference where me and Opti met in person the first time. It's a conference that we hold near and dear to our hearts. Guys, you definitely don't want to miss BitBlockBoom 2025. Get your tickets now before the prices increase. Use promo code BBB21 to get $100 off your tickets. Check the link in the video description or podcast description. Opti, it is Turkey Day, man. What are we going to talk about? What's the culture on?
Yeah, it is Turkey Day, and I promised one of my friends that I would do a public service announcement here. And here, let me full screen myself first. And since it is Turkey Day and you're going to be hanging out with your friends and family, first of all, I would urge you not to go on the Bitcoin rants on your family, like enjoy your family. But if you do that, I don't know, here's a little public service announcement, maybe some talking points that you could talk with them about. And so shouts out to my boy, Zach, aka @_base_money. And he just goes, public service announcement. 1, the money in your bank is A, not yours, and B, is not money. 2, the Federal Reserve is not federal, it's private, and B, has no reserves. It is counterfeit. 3, gold is censorable, not divisible, confiscatable, not verifiable, permission, not transportable, not fixed in supply, not extensible, and again, is not backed by the US dollar. 4, the stock market is flat since 1971, adjusted for inflation. 5, inflation is the increase in fiat units. It's the expansion of the money supply. B, not the increase in prices. C, fiat is fake counterfeit money, and ignore the people that don't get it and they can have fun staying poor. And 6, WTF happened in 1971. Maybe go check out the website, WTFhappened in1971.com. Godspeed, mate. When you're with your friends and family, I think it's hard for us not to go on these Bitcoin rants, but it's good to have your facts right. It's good to kind of meet your normie family and friends where they are. And I think, Zach did a good job of kind of picking where people are coming from, kind of exposing people to what we talk about here all the time. One of the things Nico and I kind of figured out pretty early in regards to Simply Bitcoin is so many people just tune out economics in general. They think it's very boring. They don't realize the connection it has with their lives. You could do kind of the same thing or in reverse of what the Biden administration has been doing in regards to inflation with this whole turkey dinner has gotten cheaper over the last couple of years. Well, you can expose them to the fact that, hey, maybe turkey dinner has gotten more expensive, and these are the reasons why. Now, again, I kind of advise people going against ranting to your family about Bitcoin all the time. It does kind of, it is a little annoying. I'm not going to lie, enjoy the time with your friends and family. But if you are going to do it, make sure you have your talking points correct. Make sure you hit people where they are, hit them where they feel it. But hey, it's also Bitcoin's about to hit 100K. So maybe you can just gloat at your friends and family this Thanksgiving and show them that, hey, I am right. I'm the one that's correct here. I understand what's going on. They're obviously not going to listen to you because they would have already listened to you. But again, just public service announcements out here. Shouts out to my boy, Zach. I told him I'd do it on the culture when I had a moment. It just so happens that the moment was today on Thanksgiving. And I'm sure you guys are all going to have a good Thanksgiving tonight and eat really good, feast like kings and queens. And this is the way. So I don't know. Yeah, simple facts here. Just simple facts here. Nico, that was a short bit. But maybe since it is Thanksgiving, we do what are we thankful for, and we wrap up today.
Yeah, I love that. So yeah, but don't guys, I've been orange pilling people 8 years now. You got to meet people where they are, and what you got to do is you plant the seed in people's heads, and number go up takes care of the rest. So. That's what I'll say on that. And then what am I thankful for? Guys, Simply Bitcoin has really kind of become a company this year, small media company. When me and Opti started on this journey, we took the show live about 2 years ago or so. And then when I started this like 4 years ago, I could never have imagined that. We're up to a team of 12, and it's been a whole lot of work, lots of ups and downs. We got deplatformed earlier. Thanks to you guys and all the attention that you guys brought to that, we were able to get the channel reinstated. Shout out to the YouTube team as well for making that happen. I'm just kind of thankful for how far we've come, and I'm thankful for the entire audience for making this possible. I just wanted to start a YouTube channel. That was my dream. And I pitched Opti on the dream, and Opti, I have no idea how he believed in it. And I can't believe how far we've come, as a company, as a channel, as a movement. And that's fundamentally because of you guys, right? And of course our partners, and sponsors. So I'm thankful for you guys. I'm thankful for you guys watching in the audience. We really appreciate it. We would not be here without you guys. You guys are, what keep us going every day. Your comments, your love. And I'm thankful for the entire Simply Bitcoin crew. Our two very, very talented content creators, Dante and Rustin, our amazing editors, Parnik, John the Goat, Johan, and of course the man behind the scenes making everything happen, our boy Jacob, and of course my wife Sophie, and of course our whole the best in the industry, baby.
Wait. Can we put the real MVP for Simply Bitcoin on blast right now?
Let's do it.
Shouts out to Wine. The go.
I was gonna save that for last, but
okay.
Shout out to the X team. So all the Zoomers that make the X team possible. Bryson, Morpheus, Jax, Ani, guys are freaking awesome. And of course, shout out to save the best for last, really. Shout out to Wineicus for really taking Simply Bitcoin up a notch in terms of our business. So yeah, I mean, super grateful for all those guys, and super grateful for the audience, and that's what I'm grateful for. Opti, what are you grateful for, bro?
Love it. I'm not going to rehash everything, but I'm also just grateful that this is our job, and we've actually created something that's awesome and that you guys love. And man, I'm just super hyped for what 2025 brings, what, the rest of the decade brings. And man, it's been an incredible ride so far, and I think this is only the beginning. Like, we got a lot of tricks up our sleeves. I know some of you guys are yelling at me because it's taking a little longer than we want it to take, but hey, we got to make sure when we roll out some new stuff, it all happens at the same time. But yeah, man, I'm just super grateful that this is our jobs. Like, it's a surreal experience, and somehow we've made it happen. And so I just want to thank every single one of you guys showing up, hanging out with us, all the love we get in the chat, even all the trolls we get in the chat. Keep trolling us. It keeps us on our toes. But man, I'm just thankful for the life. This life that we're living is incredible. And hey, even though it's Thanksgiving, it's a holiday. The banks are closed, but Bitcoin's still running, and Simply Bitcoin doesn't take a day off apparently. So I'm just happy that this is working, man. And just one last thing, like Nico said, when Nico kind of tapped me on the shoulder and was like, "Hey, I want you to join Simply," instantly, before he even finished the sentence, I already knew where Simply was going, and I've been a believer throughout this, literally since the first day. I was a fan first, and Nico's a friend, and hey, it's just incredible that we built this team, that you guys show up every single day, that you guys literally don't miss an episode, and you keep us accountable. And so we show up, we try to be as close to the truth as possible. We try to get to the bottom of everything, and of course we try to give you guys some good entertaining content. And man, I'm just thankful that this is working. and I'm excited for 2025. So hey, next year, 2025, Thanksgiving, thanks. We'll probably do the same thing, and we'll be even more thankful, and we'll probably be thankful for the price then. But I'm just thankful this is our job. It's really been incredible, and it's only the beginning, man. This is awesome.
It's surreal and it's hectic, but yeah, it's amazing, man. So also shout out to, of course, our sponsors. Simply Bitcoin would not be possible without our sponsors. So Bitcoin Well, Stamp Seed Foundation, The Bitcoin Way, Compass Mining, Hive Digital Technologies, and Orange Pill app. And of course, shout out to all the conferences. BitBlockBoom, the Canadian Bitcoin Conference, Adopting Bitcoin, Mining Disrupt in Miami, Unconfiscatable, and of course, the Bitcoin Conference, Bitcoin 2024. And of course, all the other ones as well. So yeah, shout out to the Bitcoin Magazine team. Grateful for those guys as well. Anyways, guys, have an amazing Thanksgiving. Enjoy time with the family. Go outside, touch some grass, eat some turkey. And of course,
wait, eat 2 servings, one for me and one for you.
Boom, boom, boom. And of course, Honey Badger Media will be back tomorrow for a brand new episode of Simply Bitcoin Live. Peace out, everybody.
Brought to you by BitcoinWell.com, a Bitcoin-only platform on a mission to enable financial independence.